One of the most frustrating things that can happen to you is when you are goal orientated, you're on the right path, you've got everything figured out, everything is working for you, and all of a sudden, from out of the blue, your plans crash, things don't work out, the unexpected happens, and you get mad and frustrated and really don't understand what went wrong. After all, you put so much thought into it, you planned, you took care to have all the resources you needed, you were ready, you got psychologically prepared, financially prepared, socially and emotionally prepared, everything was going well, and then it goes boop, bust. When I have clients who come to me with this problem, what I usually find is they are so narrowly focused on one particular motivation that they're not aware of all the others that might not be compatible. So let me give you an example of Evan in his early 30s, who was on the road to becoming an entrepreneur. He had his business plan, he had his financial underpinnings, he got venture capital, everything was going well for him. And then all of a sudden, just as he was starting his company and everything was going well, something went wrong. The offices he was supposed to be leasing were not available anymore. Certain of his colleagues dropped out. He felt terrible. There were problems in other areas of his life. Everything sort of went haywire and he really didn't know what to do, and he came to me for help. What we discovered was that he had many competing motives that he didn't really know about. One of them was to succeed very well in business, but there were other ones that were much more important, much more powerful, that were going to get in his way. And as we talked, we realized that the competing motives were he wanted to be taken care of and loved for who he was without having to prove himself as a successful entrepreneur. So that motive got in the way. Just as he was about to succeed, this other motive came and hijacked him and made everything fall apart, so that the need to be taken care of became evident because he was blocking himself from realizing that. And he was ashamed of it, so he kind of hid it and brushed it under the carpet. But then when it came up, he was able to discuss it with me and work with me on it and be a little bit more comfortable with it. And eventually, we found a way where he didn't have to feel embarrassed and ashamed, and he began to get his personal needs met in a more upfront, comfortable way. He would ask to be connected with his girlfriend, with colleagues, with family, without feeling like he had to push everything away, do it all himself, and then wait for some hurrah and so on, because it wasn't very fulfilling. Then we found with Evan that he was really looking forward to getting his business started up again once he realized what was at fault, and he was just about to put his company on the market and get it all going, and then he got really, really tired. And there was no reason. He wasn't overexerting himself. He'd done this over a long period of time. Everything was balanced in its rightful place. He was really looking forward to it. He felt good emotionally. He was connected with his girlfriend. He was getting care and attention from family and so on. And then he felt so tired that he just could not make that final move and get it off the ground. So we worked on it again, and we found that there was one little part of him still lurking in the background that wasn't comfortable with him being successful. And that part was that if he did it all himself, even though he was connected and getting care, if he took this big step all by himself, that everybody would kind of leave him alone because they would see him as so successful. They wouldn't offer him help. They wouldn't be there for him. They wouldn't be a supportive foundation. And he would not feel that his life was fulfilled. So once again, we had to spend a long time working on this. So my gift to you, dear watchers and listeners, is your biggest obstacles are your hidden motives. And until and unless you get the magnifying glass out and start looking for all your hidden motives and balancing them all out, all your hard work and your efforts and your energy may not be completely fulfilling, and it won't get you what you want, because there are other things you want that are competing in your goals. So the best thing you can do is to try and remove that cloak of guilt and shame that stops you from noticing about your other motives, because believe me, they're going to get in the way and totally sabotage you. If you can do that, you will be well on the way to taking care of all parts of you and being a success in all areas of your life. So do me a favor now and write down some comments. Have you had this experience? What's it like for you when you try something and it falls flat? Are you aware of all your motives, or do you get shocked when other people point them out to you? Do you wonder why you didn't realize things before? Did you think you already knew everything about yourself and then find out, hey, but I missed this piece out? Yes, it happens to us all, because there's certain things about us we don't like or we're ashamed of. Once we accept them, we're in harmony and everything will work well. So let me know your experiences.